Hey folks, and many greetings from Hanover. My name is Stefan Immig. I'm a professional drummer, percussionist, and teacher, as some of you may know. I am teaching at a university in Germany, in Osnabrück, and I'm doing drum set major there and also do group lessons. And one of the group lessons is called a lab. So we meet with a couple of guys once a week and talk about different things. This year's lab is about the ultimate orchestration method, which is part of my teaching concept. In this lab, I talk about how to use rhythmic motifs like rudiments or any kind of sticking creatively on the drum set. And I like it when my students challenge me. So one of the guys came up to me and asked me what to do with a double drag tap. And since this is a rudiment that I hardly ever use or have hardly ever used until now, I accepted the challenge and took this rudiment as a motif and went through the different steps of the ultimate orchestration method. And this is what I came up with. It's far from being clean and everything, but maybe you get an idea of what the whole concept is about. All right, have fun and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. So the first step would be to play it on the practice pad. And with all rhythms that are based on 3 notes, you can you can count differently and make it feel differently every time when you count in different ways. So an example would be if I count in 3/4, it sounds and feels like this: 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. I could also use it as a group of 3 notes within a 4/4 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and so on. And I can use it in a triplet note value, which would be kind of a 3/2 feel. So if I count 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita, I would play quarter note triplets. 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita. 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita. 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita. 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita, 1. Now I'm going to move to the snare drum. And playing the snare drum is usually very different from playing the practice pad. On a practice pad, you can have the biggest motion. When you go to the drum kit, if you use this big of a motion, you may play too loud. So it's always different. There is a difference between playing on the snare drum and playing on the practice pad. And so don't mix these two up. They're 2 different things. After going through these steps, I kind of start to hear some phrases or melodies where I can imagine using them as fill-ins or as grooves. And these are some of these things that I came up with. One of the first things was if I play it in a quarter note triplet, I like the 3/2 feel. And this reminds me of North African music. So I have a play along here, and you can see some places where the double drag tap seems to be appropriate for me. use the same idea in, let's say, a shuffle context. If you want to apply this idea in a 4/4 groove context, you have groups of 3, let's say eighth notes, and you have 2 more eighth notes left, so you can fill these 2 eighth notes any way you want. And this is a groove that I came up with. Whenever I start playing grooves, I go for the most cliché sticking and the most cliché orchestration. That will be right hand on the hi-hat, left hand on the snare, and right foot on the kick. In the triplet note value context, you can choose different kinds of ostinatos. Like in an African context, I always like a 4 on the floor bass drum. Kind of gives everything an African feel as soon as you play something triplet-y over it. But you can also use like a shuffle between the feet or 3/2 or something like that. So after practicing all that stuff, which may take, I don't know, about 60 minutes, I guess, going through all these different steps and memorizing the ideas that you practice, after doing all that, I would do a little improvisation and try to see if there's anything new that I can come up with while improvising. All right, I hope I could help you a little bit with this. Have fun practicing that stuff, and all the best to you.